right, ready?
Oh, I'm so happy I have this all recorded.
Oh, stop it. You are not using that. Hi, welcome to season 2 of Val's Kitchen. I'm Val, and this is my kitchen. On this season of Val's Kitchen, we are doing family requests. And today is Sam's request of Tostones. Sam's wife is part Puerto Rican, and she has introduced us to this crispy and delicious fried plantains. They are so easy to make, and you are gonna love them. I like to make this mayo ketchup sauce. I put a little spin on it, so it's not traditional, but I do have Eva's approval on it. So I think you're gonna like it. Also, make sure to check in at the end of the video for an update to Val's Kitchen. All right, let's get cooking. All right, so gotta get you some plantains. Now, generally, if I have nice big ones like this, I use, for us, 1 plantain per person. But we absolutely love this, and even though it's just an appetizer for the dinner, I still do 1 plantain per person because we love them so much. So, now these are pretty big. I've got some good ones. They were 42 cents each. They don't go by the pound. 42 cents. The best plantains to buy are the green ones. You don't want to get the ones that are turning yellow and spotted because to me they were too sweet. I really like the way it tastes when they're green. Sometimes they're hard to find, 4 of them or 3 of them, and you have to go with one a little bit riper. It won't be bad. I just prefer the green. It has a better taste when you fry them. All right, so how do we open these up? Well, I haven't been brought up on this, so I just learned I cut the ends off, just by experience and by making them. Cut the ends off, and then I take the knife, just be careful if you're not used to working with knives, and I just make 1 slit on it. You could do 2 on the other side, but sometimes you can get your finger underneath the skin, get your thumb under there, and it starts to peel off. And I gotta do it again. They're not easy to peel. It's not like a banana, but when it's green like this is the way it's gonna be. If you can get your finger under there, there we go. And sometimes if there's a little piece on there, you might wanna, of the skin that you didn't get off, just scrape it off. And you might come up with an easier way. Let me know if you do. And let me know in the comments if you find out a different way or an easier way to peel these. But this one's going pretty good. I got my thumb underneath and it's just peeling it all, and oh, that was an easy one. All right, so while I was doing that, I'm heating up my pan. I do like to use the cast iron pan, but use your biggest frying pan that you have. The cast iron's nice because it holds the heat well and it has more of an even cooking temperature. And right now it's warm enough. I'm gonna add some olive oil to it. I like to use olive oil because that's the oil, the healthy oil that I like to use. You can use whatever you're used to. I think it tastes really good with the olive oil. I do feel like it might be a little healthier to use the olive oil, so that's what I do. And what you want to do is put just a little bit cover the pan, maybe a 1/2 inch, okay? You might have to add more. When I'm doing 4 plantains, I might have to add more in between. So I'm just gonna pour it right in because I can feel it's definitely hot enough. So with this big pan, it is gonna take quite a bit. All right, so I like to make them kind of big. So I cut them on an angle like this, okay? Because we're going to smash them after we fry them. Basically, they're just fried 2 times. You fry them in a chunk like this, then you smash it and you fry it again. That's it. It's so easy, all right? And if I cut it on an angle, it'll help it to be a larger piece. Before you put it in, and I'll show you what I do sometimes. You just gotta be careful. I'm gonna check the oil. So I take just a drop of water on my hand and put it in the oil. And if it starts to crackle a little bit, it's about ready. See the crackling? That means it's hot enough. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place these in the oil. Just don't drop them hard. You don't want them to splatter the oil on you. And you don't want to overcrowd it. Usually I could fit 2 plantains in at a time. Okay, I'm just placing them around. Put them in. We're gonna let those cook. We wanna get them a nice brown on one side and then flip them over. And we're just gonna let it sit. We don't wanna keep flipping it back and forth. We'll keep it in and then we'll take a look at the bottom of one and then we'll know when it's brown that we can start flipping the rest of them. All right, let that cook. And I'm gonna slice up the rest of these. Now, to make the sauce, I like to double it. You don't need to if you're not, if your family doesn't love sauces. We absolutely love dipping into the sauces. So, I've gotta double it because I always run out. And if by chance you had any left over, it goes great on hamburgers or French fries if you're making, it'll last a couple of days. So I'm gonna use 1 cup of mayonnaise. Put it in the bowl. I know that sounds like a lot, but we're spreading it out over 4 people. So the ketchup, I'm gonna put 6 tablespoons in. Put 6 tablespoons of ketchup in, and you can easily cut this in half. It doesn't have to be this much if this seems like too much for you. Or if you're only doing 2 plantains, you wouldn't need this much. Unless you want, was that 3? That was 4? 5. Can't talk and count. 6. All right, there's the ketchup. Like I said, I don't know if this is traditional or not, but after making it a few times, this is the one that we settled on that we all liked. So I put some Worcestershire sauce in it. Yes, this makes it. I know it sounds weird, but you need the Worcestershire. 1 teaspoon. And honestly, sometimes I put a couple of splashes extra in, just because I love the Worcestershire. It gives it that tang that I like. And of course, if you know me, it's gotta have garlic in it. But I did look up some of these recipes and it had garlic powder in it, some of them. And I tried it that way and we all liked it. But when I made it with the fresh garlic, it was Eva approved, right? All right, so I used 2 cloves of garlic with the double batch. Unless I have these tiny cloves, then I would use 2 tiny cloves in place of 1. But let me look at this. Let's see what we got here. Maybe we've got sometimes I have a hard time finding garlic with large cloves here in Virginia. All right, that'll do good. That is 1. And then I'm gonna do 2 because they're kind of small. So I'm using a total of 3 right now. Does that make sense? And if you can find, my favorite garlic, if I can find it, is when it's got the purple tint to it. I love this. Just recently went to New York and went to one of the stores there and got beautiful garlic, the size of my hand. And they were the purple garlic and the cloves were huge. All right, so. Okay, let's get rid of this and we're going to crush the garlic. All right, so if you have a garlic crusher, you can use that. This is my favorite, all metal garlic crusher. I have been through so many. I've had one from Italy, but it was such a pain to clean. Got this one on Amazon, under $10, and it's my favorite tool ever because it crushes your garlic and it's not, you don't have to go through every hole with a toothpick to clean it out every time you use it. Just love it. All right, we put that right in there. And that is all you have to do for the sauce. You mix it up. You can even make it the day before. Sometimes if I know I'm making plantains before dinner, I'll make it the night before. And it kind of settles in the garlic taste. Oh, it's so delicious. I love this sauce. All right, you just make sure it all gets incorporated. Got a little Worcestershire to mix in there. There we go. All right, I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, let it stay cold in there until these are ready to eat. You're gonna love this. All right, so let's take a look at this one. I'm gonna show you. This one's it's perfect now to switch. Can you see the brown on there? All right, see how brown that is? Perfect. I'm flipping it over. Now, I do this with I like using the two spatulas so that I don't splash it on myself. Everyone in the family knows that I'm gonna burn myself on oil or burn myself in the oven. All right, so now I'm gonna cook them. They're gonna go a little quicker on this side. And once they're cooked on this side, I'm gonna pull them out, put the other ones in, and then I'm gonna show you how we just flatten them out. I wanna show you this. All right, so I've just used my spoon to flatten them out, and I'll show you how to do that because that's what I'm used to. But I just got this from the kids, brought this back from Puerto Rico. It's a Tostone maker. So I don't know, I haven't tried it yet because they just brought it back to me. So it was for my birthday. But I'm gonna show you how I do it with this. I usually flatten it out with my bamboo spoon. So this is gonna be fun. And normally when I'm making tostones, I might have something in the oven like the pork roast. If you were doing the pork roast with apples and onions, that might be in the oven, and this would be the appetizer when everybody gets here, because we get together every Wednesday night. Don't forget to check out our Patreon for some exclusive videos and recipes that I'll be sharing, and downloadable PDFs of my recipe cards. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. And make sure to hit the little bell so you can stay up to date on all the Val's Kitchen shows and all the other awesome shows on the channel. This season, we'll be asking you, our Val's Kitchen family, what you want me to make on the last episode. Here are 4 of my favorite recipes for you to choose from. Comment below which recipe you would like to see done on the season finale. Our polls will be open for 1 more week. Actually, rotating them a little bit because I do have a hot spot on the stove. All right, they're ready, and I'm gonna start pulling them out, and then I'm gonna add these to the pan and fry these on both sides. And then I'm gonna show you what I do with the batch that's cooked. We have to flatten them so we can refry them again, but we won't refry them until I get these out of the pan. For some reason it sounds so confusing, but it isn't. Find if you use the 2 spatulas, you can drain the oil, and I probably won't need to add any. Well, first, not everybody has a Tostone maker. This is what I've used all this time, is my bamboo spoon. I just put a little bit of olive oil on the outside. It helps it so it doesn't stick. I can put it on the cutting board. All right, take the back of your spoon, press gently. You want to flatten it, but don't press too hard, which is what I have a hard time with. I press too hard and then it goes all the way through to the cutting board. So you want to be able to pick it up. It's kind of thin, like that. Hold on, put it over here. We'll try another one. Put it on the cutting board. Press gently with the spoon, flatten it out, and that's ready. Now, with this handy dandy press, although it's getting loose, we're gonna tighten it up, but I really like it. This is the first time I've used it. You just put it right in there, flatten it out, and there you go. Look at how easy that is. It's definitely easier. It's definitely easier with the press. Just press it down because it's got the indentation, so it's the perfect thickness when you're done. And there we go. So I'm gonna put these back in and refry them. This goes pretty quick. You don't want them to get too brown, but they're gonna brown up a bit. So we're just gonna put them in. All right, I'm gonna flip these over. Oh, they're nice and crispy. Oh yeah. They're only gonna need another minute or so on this side. I like to place them on the paper towel, let the oils drain on the paper towel. So I'm getting this ready. And then we're gonna put more back in. All right, we're taking the last batch out, putting it on the paper towel, just to get the drain it. I do have a second layer of paper towels. In between each layer, I put a layer of paper towels and spread it out. All right, I'm gonna show you in a moment. There we go. We wanna make sure they're all spread out because I'm gonna sprinkle them with some salt. First, I need to remove the pan from the burner. Okay, turn that off. All right. So, Tostones definitely need salt. So you don't want to be skimpy on the salt because it really does need salt. Okay. Now, I've been putting garlic powder on it. I'm sure that's not traditional, but it tastes really good. Not a lot. It just has to be a very light sprinkling of the garlic powder. All right. That's that. Tostones. Peel plantains and slice about 1.5 to 2 inches thick on an angle. Heat large frying pan on medium heat. Add olive oil to about 1/4 inch. Once oil is hot, add sliced plantains. Cook each side until lightly browned. Remove from the pan. Flatten each cooked tostone slice into a tostone press or with the back of a wooden spoon. Return to frying pan. Cook each side until crisp. Remove to paper towel lined plate and sprinkle with salt and garlic powder.